WTF, we're doing a podcast. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Michelle. This is 50. Welcome to What the 50. Join us on our continued journey to simplify our lives.
We will seek the answers from the experts and offer tips, tools, and techniques to live your life with confidence and joy. Are we ready?
Let's go.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Well, welcome to our podcast. And you're
Nice to be here.
Yes, and you're here with Nikki, and we're dying to hear
Hi, Julie.
all about
Hi,
what you
Nikki.
talk to us about Diwali and the celebration of the Festival of Lights and how it's done in Jamaica, your involvement in it. We're just excited.
So before we start with that, let's find out a little bit about Julie.
Of course.
Sure. So I am born and raised here, of course, to Indian parents. My parents came from India in the my dad was here in the 60s. My mom came in the 70s.
Wow.
And they have been here ever since. And more of their life has been in Jamaica than in India. And they consider themselves more Jamaican than anything else. But of course, they tried to hold on to the culture, and they tried their best to instill it in us as best as they could. You know, they taught us everything at home and tried to maintain the religion and everything. But then we went to Catholic schools. And, you know, at the end of the day, they said, listen, once you're old enough, you make the decision which path you want to follow. As long as you live a good life and you believe in a higher power, we're not going to force anything on you.
Perfect.
So that's really how we were raised. We learned all about the culture. We grew up doing all the Indian dancing on stage at the festivals and, you know, things like that. We eat the food. We love the food. We cook the food. And yeah, so I've spent most of my life here. I lived away for 3 years when I got married. I was living in St. Martin for a little while, but back here now. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay,
And
perfect.
of course, you have continued the tradition of celebrating.
Yes, absolutely.
So you went to Immaculate. I
went to Immaculate, yes.
So
yes.
so we're now in the season of Diwali. How do you pronounce it?
Right.
Because
some say Diwali, some say Diwali.
Yes.
How do you?
Well, it's the actual the Sanskrit word is Deepavali.
Okay.
That's the actual way, which means Deepa means a clay lamp, which is really what we call a diya. That's what they used to light outside their homes and stuff. And Avali means a row. So the word for word translation is a row of lights.
Okay, perfect.
However, it's been changed over the years. Some said Diwali, some said Diwali. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's really just a celebration. When wishing one another, some people say Shubh Diwali, some people say Happy Diwali. It really just depends on you and where you're from and what you feel good saying. There's nothing wrong about it.
Does it vary from one part of India to the next?
Yes and no. You'd find that some places tend to gravitate more towards one aspect of it or say it a certain way, but the meaning is universal.
So what is Diwali?
So it really is a festival of lights. For easier translation, I would say it's the Hindu version of Christmas. Okay. It's where they celebrate. It's the biggest festival throughout the year. And it's something everybody looks forward to. It's where they celebrate the triumph of good over evil, light over darkness. And it's really the start of what they consider a new year for everything that they do for their businesses, for their homes. So in a lot of states in India, they when they do the rituals and the pujas in their offices or their businesses, they will actually take out a new set of journals and ledgers and books and invoice books and everything. They'll pack up everything for the previous year. They'll make their symbols in their books and they use that for the year to come.
Okay.
So does it coincide with the moon or what?
Yeah, it's always in the October-November region. I'm not sure of the exact. I know it's 13 days after a particular moon. Forgive me, I'm not too familiar with exactly when it falls, but the date changes every year
according to the moon.
Correct. It's done with the whole astrological
the moon. I'm telling you,
there's a whole lunar celebration. Yes,
right, for sure. So how do you celebrate it?
So how we celebrate? So actually, there are 5 days of Diwali. Not everybody celebrates all five, but the ritual, the original celebration was actually for 5 days. The first day, which is known as Dhanteras. So that day you are supposed to go out and buy something in gold, whether it's a piece of jewelry or a gold coin or a gold bar or whatever it is, and you decorate your house in rangoli. Rangoli is colored rice or colored sand, and you make these little drawings at the entrance of your house, and you're supposed to make it welcoming.
Those almost look like mandalas, right? Is that
Correct, correct. So nowadays you get it in like little stickers and stuff that you just put on and you rip off. But of course, in the olden days, it was an actual full decoration. You used to have professional artists that come home to do this for you, and things like that. In India, it's still done widely. So that's the first day, and the significance of buying that gold.
I'll just jump in right here. I remember years ago, we had done a celebration. Julie and I were neighbors years ago. And I remember your niece did an absolutely beautiful one at the front of the house.
Correct.
On the driveway. It was absolutely beautiful.
So some people do it with chalk. Some people use colored rice. Some people use colored sand. Really just depends on what you have available to you at the time. But the idea is to create that colorful, something very colorful, very vibrant, and to buy something gold that day. It could be something very small, very big. Some people will use the opportunity to say, okay, today's the day I'm going to gift my wife a piece of gold jewelry, or I'm going to gift my mom, or I'm going to do something like that, right? And then the second day, which
before you continue on, I'm sorry. So October 24th was the day of Diwali.
This year, correct.
So is this the day of October 24th is your first day, or is it?
No, 2 days before that.
2 days.
Correct.
To the 22nd.
To the 22nd.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then the second day is what we call Choti Diwali. So it means a small Diwali, a little Diwali.
Okay.
And that day really you start to prepare for the big day, which is you start to make the sweets at home and put out your candles and get your lights done up outside your home and things like that. And really just prepare for the next day, which is the main day.
Okay, which is
day 3. That's day 3.
Right. Okay. So day 3 now, which is the main day, is known as the Lakshmi Puja Day. So Lakshmi, who is the goddess of prosperity and wealth, she's the god that is prayed to on that day. And you welcome her into your home, into your business, into your life, to bring all the lovely wealth and prosperity and everything that she's supposed to bring with it. So that day now you adorn your outside of your house with clay lamps, with candles. You turn on all the lights in your home. A lot of people actually believe that you should not leave your home on that day, because if you leave your home, she will not come in.
Okay. So the lights are to welcome her.
Correct. Okay. And you leave the lights on all night. You don't turn off your lights on that day. It is just believed that that's how she's going to find your home. And that's how she's going to, or your business. And that's how, so you'll find that you'll have candles at the entrance of business places, at the entrance of homes. They'll decorate their homes in lights. Basically that wherever she is, she's going to identify, okay, I need to go into that home because it's nicely well lit and that I can't get lost, that type of thing. And then that's the day families gather, they exchange sweets. Diwali is all about sweets. You make all these different sweets with coconut, with nuts, with basically anything you can think of. And you exchange with family, with friends. Usually families gather for dinner on that day. Really just a celebration. How we here would do Christmas, the family comes together.
You actually exchange gifts, or is it just sweets?
Not gifts, no, sweets.
Just the sweets. Okay.
Correct. Okay. I mean, sometimes some particular states, usually the more elite, will give a gift or a monetary gift to their kids or their grandkids. Something small. But it's not necessarily about gifts as such. No.
Okay.
More about the sweets.
So is there any ritual involved in making those sweets? Is it like
no. As long as it's done, no meat, no eggs, no alcohol.
Okay.
Right. And usually any auspicious day in the Hindu culture, those are the rules. Nothing to do with meat and nothing to do with alcohol.
Okay. I didn't know
you
that.
Find that any festival, any god or goddess's birthday, anything auspicious, you will not find. A lot of
No
wedding
alcohol.
ceremonies don't serve meat or alcohol, things like that.
Okay.
So we're on to day 4 of this now?
So we now move to day 4, which is, I don't know if there's an actual name for the day 4, but that is the start of the new year. So that's the day, they will take out, like I mentioned, those new books, those new journals, the ledgers, everything, and everything now starts fresh from that day. In India, of course, I think certain states do all of these 5 days as holidays. Certain states just do the main third day. So then the next day is when you come back to work and everything starts back fresh now, right? And then day 5 is known as Bhai Dooj. So Bhai means brother. So it's a day that's celebrated between sisters and brothers. And if you don't have a brother, maybe a brother figure or somebody who has been there for you. And what they do is sisters usually cook a meal for their brother and invite them over, or you send them breakfast or whatever it is. And it's a day that recognizes the bond between sisters and brothers. So sometimes the brother will give a little gift or a vow of protection, or anything like that. But it's just a day where brothers and sisters are recognized.
I like that. Very nice.
So that's the 5 days, and then life goes back to normal.
So do you celebrate all 5 days each year here in Jamaica?
And the main day is the third day. That is the day you'll find widely celebrated everywhere. You'll find it in India, in the States. Anybody who celebrates day 3 for sure. Some will do 3 days, the first 3. Some will do just day 3 and day 5. It really just depends on where in the world you live, your schedules, people who work every day, of course, cannot take 5 days off of work just to celebrate. So it really varies. I saw this year that as of next year, New York City is going to be, Diwali is not going to be a public holiday there.
Really?
As of next year, as of 2023. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, both our children go to an international school. And it is actually, we have, quite a few Indians at our school. And we actually recognize it. We talked to the children I've spoken to about it. And some years we actually did some celebration a few years ago. In recognition of Diwali. So I think it's great that other cultures can be celebrated here.
And what's nice is that Jamaica on a whole is, our motto is out of many one people, right? And
of course.
You know how many ethnic groups we have living here and have lived here and have made Jamaica their home. So it's nice to embrace. And of course, I understand that religion can be a tricky or a touchy subject for a lot of people, but on a whole, it's nice. It's nice that you can appreciate and you can recognize, and I can invite you and you can invite me, and we see what each other's cultures are about.
Which is important.
Of course.
I know in Trinidad they have the day off, but they have quite a big...
Yes, that's right.
So have you always celebrated Diwali ever since you were a child?
Yes. From as far back as I can remember, that was one thing that we would, like I said, decorate outside the home with candles, and it was just this memory. And most Western communities tend to have a big event, a Diwali ball or a party or a dinner or something. Of course, with COVID the last few years, it hasn't really happened. But the kids from end of summer, they start to prepare dances, and they get excited because this big Diwali ball, and everybody gets dressed up and goes out. And I do believe there is one happening this year, in either next week or the week after. I'm not sure of the details, but there is one happening at the Pegasus. And they're gonna have, of course, Indian food, and you go out and you celebrate and you wish everyone, and it's a nice community event, a nice way to bring the community together and celebrate. Sometimes people bring in entertainment from overseas and things like that, but it's just a really nice celebration.
Well, it's so nice to know more about it. In Ontario, there's a lot of Southeast Asians that Diwali is like a big celebration, but it's really nice to know what all the traditions are.
Right. And I think that a lot of people, as with any culture, you do these things because you see your parents do it, but you don't understand why you do it. And it's very important that we teach our children, these are the meanings behind it. This is why.
And like a lot of things, I believe over time, the real meaning gets lost along the way.
Correct.
But the good thing is, though, certainly in your culture, you recognize the importance of maintaining the true meaning of these holidays.
Correct.
Clearly, this one. So I do hope that it will remain significant in the lives of the generations to come. I'm sure they will, though, because there's so much tradition.
And it should, because like you said, there's tradition involved.
Right.
There is family history involved in a lot of these traditions. And if you lose it as you go down, what's going to happen? The
Right.
culture will eventually get lost. But it's nice. It's nice that there is a day, even if it's one day of the year, you can get dressed in your traditional attire,
Right.
and you can look forward to spending time with family. And it is nice.
Right. A few years ago, and you know this, in our complex, all our neighbors got together, and we literally transformed.
Correct.
It was a huge celebration. It was my first time, and we were actually encouraged to dress the part.
Love
So
that.
everybody, our neighbors shared, the traditional dress with us. And each carport was set up, whether it was a food station, a drink station, blah, blah, blah. But the entire complex was shut down.
I
They had to
love
park
that.
outside.
Sounds amazing.
And it was just fantastic. It was our very first time experiencing that. It was great, but on several levels. One, for us to be exposed to the culture. And two, for us as a community, as small as we were, it was a small community, but we all got together and we were involved in this fantastic celebration.
Right.
And I think that was just such a good thing.
I think that's something that's nice.
Pictures.
Every culture has it in their own way, right?
Yeah.
For those of us that celebrate Christmas, that's what we look forward to: families coming together, cooking food together in the kitchen, things like that. The Jews have their own way of doing it. The Chinese have their own. So it like I said, it's nice that you can embrace it and you can appreciate it, and you can bring it to people who don't know it.
Absolutely.
And explain it to them. Right.
Yes. Exactly. So my children were part of that. They still talk about it. They were fully involved. I mean, everybody was involved with the planning and the decorating.
Right.
All the kids, the adults, everybody got involved. And I thought it was such a good thing, because for most of us, it was our very first time being exposed at that.
Right.
But I love the fact that we were embraced. And we were allowed to be a part of it. And, we just had a really, really good time. And the food was delicious. It was really good.
Yes, Indian food is quite tasty.
Yes.
So speaking about food, tell us about your restaurant.
Julie Mango. I love the name.
So I own a restaurant called Julie Mango along with my husband. It's not an Indian restaurant, but it is a fusion. It's a multi-cuisine. So we have a little bit of everything on the menu. One Thai dish, one Greek dish, one Chinese, one Mexican. And we are located at Mayfair Hotel, which is 4 West Queen's House Close, right behind the Canadian High Commission. And we open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, except on a Monday, and Sundays we do Sunday brunch only.
Well, I visited the restaurant about 2 years ago, and let me tell you something. The food was delicious, but the presentation, you weren't sure what you're going to get at each course, because when it came, you're like, what's this? Because the presentation was mind-blowing, Julie. They had all these little containers, and it was just really, really mind-blowing. And I think that added to the whole experience of being
right.
It wasn't a normal plating. It was so
right. And I mean, we believe that a meal should be appealing to the eye as well as appealing to the palate, and that's part of what we aim to do.
Yes.
Of course, I've been there for lunch and for breakfast. And I loved the decor.
Decor is
very nice. Instagrammable.
That swing still there, Julie?
Yes, very much so. We have a few of them now.
Okay.
So tell us what you have on your brunch menu. Sunday brunch sounds good.
So Sunday brunch, so we do the typical ackee and saltfish rundown, the local items, as well as we have the American flair pancakes, waffles, that type of thing. But then we have a few international items as well. We have a Chipotle bowl. We do our breadfruit tacos stuffed with ackee and saltfish, or with scrambled eggs, whatever you like. We have our regular burgers, pastas, things like that. And we have where we use we try to infuse a lot of the local ground provisions in what we do. So we do a lot of things with breadfruit, with green banana, with sweet
Oh,
potato.
I love that.
Nice.
So there's a specialty dish that we do. It's called the Yo Kidding Me. And it's a round of breadfruit that's roasted or fried with pesto and veggies and a poached egg on top with balsamic vinegar, feta cheese, and that's usually a favorite.
Well, we're going to be visiting for brunch very, very soon. We'll let you know when
Sure,
we're
anytime.
But what I thought was also really cute, the names of your dishes. Very,
Right. So
cute.
again, just
Very
something
different.
appealing, something different
Yeah.
that when someone sits down, the thing is people today go out not for a meal only. They want an experience.
Of
Yes,
Right? They want
yes.
to be taken care of. They want somewhere to take pictures. They want to enjoy their meal. It's a package now. It's no
Package, yeah.
longer
That's what
I'm
you
just going
offer.
out to eat a good food and that's it.
Right.
So I think once you're able to create that, you're able to you have that little upper hand
Yes.
and do that. So absolutely.
I think it's a great place for like a birthday dinner as well. Because you have like the
Yes, and we do
I think
get
it's a
quite
nice
a few
girl
of those.
spot. It's a
And I
nice
think
spot
because
for
of the
girls.
outdoor, we have so much outdoor seating with the terrace and the patio.
Right.
After COVID, of course, people, I mean, on a Sunday, for example, when it's pelting heat at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you have people that come in and will say, come inside, we'll turn on the AC for you. No, we
Want to be
want to sit
outdoors.
outside.
Okay.
And I think COVID has created that extra awareness for outdoor seating. So
And of course, our favorite. Is there any cocktail specialties?
yes, absolutely. We do quite a few cocktails, and our signature is the Julie Mango Mule.
Oh,
which
tell
is
us
the-
about that.
You come
So
check
it's
it out.
similar to a Moscow Mule done with vodka, ginger beer, lime juice, but we add a mango syrup to it, which is made in house, and it gives
okay.
it that little extra touch.
Mm-hmm.
We do mango mimosas. We do we don't have a very wide bar, but we do have a few items. Yes, wines, beers, mixed drinks, things like that.
Awesome.
Sounds amazing.
Well, we'll be visiting.
Yes,
and we'll tell all
taking
our
some photos.
and telling all our listeners about it, of course.
Sure. Look forward to that.
Of course.
But thank you so much for your time. I know being a restaurateur is a busy thing, so thank you.
No, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. All right, ladies. Take care. Have a great day.
Julie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of What the 50. Please show your love and encouragement by sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review wherever you're listening.
And don't forget to like and follow us on Instagram, and please join our active Facebook group at what.the50.